Welcome into the Cowboys Report, our Week 5 preview against the New York Football Giants. Look, it's a Jason Garrett revenge game. We'll get into that. I'll update you guys on some injuries. But this is kind of bordering on a must-win game for me as the Dallas Cowboys. Look, they're a 10-point favorite. The Giants are bad, but guess what? The Cowboys have been pretty bad as well, especially on the defensive side of the football. The Cowboys sit at 1-3 this year. They lost to the Rams back in Week 1. A miracle win against the Atlanta Falcons that, frankly, they never should have won to begin with is the only thing separating the Cowboys from being 0-4, just like the New York Giants are. These are two different teams in terms of the way they've lost games, as we'll discuss plenty in today's show. The Giants have lost games, pretty significantly outside of a game against the Bears that they kind of made it competitive late. But their offense is terrible. Their defense is pretty good. So what you have this week, folks, is a stoppable force in terms of the Giants offense, meaning a very movable object against the Cowboys defense. And I know it's only Week 5, and maybe it's a little bit early to declare must-win game for the Cowboys, but I'm doing it. And if you agree with me, I want you guys to like this video as well. I absolutely believe that this is a must-win game for the Dallas Cowboys. If they don't come out and beat the Giants, who are terrible, you're sitting at 1-4. You're going to be last in the NFC East. You might as well move on to next year. Because if you're 1-4 with that defense and the way the offense is playing, it's not going to get saved in time. I know the NFC least is terrible, but you got to beat the other NFC least teams. So I know the Cowboys are a 10-point favorite this week. I know the over-under is 54, and they're probably going to give up points. I don't care if it's close. I don't care if it's a 1-point win or a 15-point win. The Cowboys have to find a way to win this game against a bad Giants team. Now, I'm going to hold off on my score prediction until the end of the video, so stay tuned for that one. But I want you guys to get your votes in early. If you're watching on YouTube and you get the ad break here, scroll on down to the pinned comment and get your votes in. Predict the score of the Cowboys against the Giants. Let's talk some general offensive defense stuff here. Again, two very different football teams. The Dallas Cowboys offense, one of the best in the NFL, except for turnovers. That is absolutely cool. And despite that, number 1 in yards, number 3 in points scored. The Giants offense is at the bottom 5 of every single major category. They just outright suck. On the flip side, the Cowboys defense outright sucks as well because they can't stop a nosebleed. It was one of the worst defensive performances I've ever seen in my entire life in both the NFL and college football that the Cowboys put together last week against the Cleveland Browns. So what you have here is a completely lost Cowboys defense going up against a Giants offense that just looks wildly ineffective with or without Saquon Barkley, who is not out there for this week's game. He's out for the season. It is a Jason Garrett revenge game. Now, when we're live on Thursday, every time you said I'm going to be forced to drink. But I'm instituting a rule right now. It is banned. No clapping or clap emojis allowed whatsoever in the comment section. Please don't put them in there. I will be forced to delete them. Some more discussion now on this Cowboys defense. This defensive line, DeMarcus Lawrence, Tristan Hill, Dontari Poe, Aldon Smith, Everson Griffin, Tyrone Crawford, Antoine Woods, and Dorrance Armstrong, y'all sucked last week. There's no way around it. They were unquestionably putrid. They had nothing going their way. There were a couple of splash plays from DeMarcus Lawrence. Tristan Hill got bullied. They got punched in the mouth. Now they got to punch back against a not very good Giants offensive line. You need this Cowboys front 4 or front 5, depending on what front they're actually using, to actually step up. Cam Fleming has actually been okay. Will Hernandez is a tough SOB. He's going to punch back. Are you going to respond, or are you going to get knocked over again like you did last week against the Browns? Andrew Thomas, by the way, hasn't actually played all that well. So I'm waiting for Aldon Smith to have a little bit more consistency. Tank Lawrence is getting pressures and tackles for loss and run stops, but there's still no sacks for him. Everson Griffin, outside of a coverage sack, has borderline been a non-factor in this game. If the defense is ever going to emerge, and I know it's only week 5, but this is the week to do it. This Giants offense is terrible. The over-under for this game in terms of Giants points scored is set at 21.5. So get your votes in. Does the Cowboys defense allow over that amount or under? It's O for over and U for under. Now, the defensive backfield is getting some adjustments, in theory. Seems like Donovan Wilson will start since they finally benched Darian Thompson and put him into the lineup. Anthony Brown will get to him, but the notable absence there is one Brandon Carr. The Cowboys cut him on Tuesday. He had completely fallen off the map. 4 snaps over 2 games, despite that secondary kind of looking like the giant Jurassic Park poop. Like it's been awful. It's been absolutely awful. Now this leaves open 2 roster spots on the Cowboys 53-man roster. From what Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys have said, it would appear that Anthony Brown could take one of those spots. He is eligible to return from injured reserve this week. Now the Cowboys haven't officially made that move as we film this, but with 2 spots open, maybe one for another practice squad promotion, Francis Bernard, that could be an option the Cowboys elect to pursue. If he does play, probably means fewer snaps for both Jordan Lewis and for Daryl Worley. Now, unlike the Titans, we encourage everyone to wear their face masks because I want football to not get canceled. So if you don't have a mask or you need more masks so you're not wearing the same ones for 2 weeks in a row, head over to chatsports.com/Cowboys mask. Our friends over at Fanatics have a whole bunch of face masks, and a bunch of them, especially those 2 and 3 4-pack multi-combos, are actually 20% off. So head over to chatsports.com/Cowboys mask, and you can save 20%. That link will be in the comments and in the description. Now, we'll talk about the quarterbacks every week as we go through these previews. Won't be much to discuss here. Dak Prescott, playing great. Daniel Jones is not. In terms of who has the better quarterback, it is very clearly, and I would argue crystal clear, that it is Dak Prescott. Now, the Cowboys are going to have to use Dak Prescott a ton because he's been the most effective offensive player that they have, and the defense is so bad they've had to throw it a ton. Now, maybe against the Giants, they can utilize a little bit more runs, but I don't want to abandon the first down play or the first down play action. They should use a lot more of that, but hopefully they aren't down by a bunch. We'll find out during the game, and we'll be live once again, folks. Cowboys against the Giants. If you want to join us, everyone seems to enjoy our watch parties because we're able to bring the bar to you guys. Hit that big red button and subscribe to the #1 Cowboys YouTube channel out there. We'll be live a little bit before the game, breaking down the inactives and all of that, and of course after the game as well. So go subscribe right now. Now, unless the Cowboys are stupid again, Brandon Knight will be the starting right tackle. Again, Leo Collins, he's done for the year. Maybe Cam Irving comes back soon, but I think this offensive line, Tyron Smith, Connor Williams, Tyler Biadasz, Zach Martin, and Brandon Knight, it's not what you wanted this year. Don't get me wrong. But you know what? You can survive with it. You can live with it because Knight's better than Steele. Williams has played much better with Biadasz for whatever reason. Hopefully things continue along that trajectory. What I hope doesn't continue is Zeke Elliott's play. Guys, after that first game and even after the second game, I'm like, cool, I feel pretty good about Zeke. He looked explosive, had a couple more big plays, and then he's really struggled the past 2 games. His yards per touch, especially on the ground, have dropped significantly. The fumbles have emerged. The drops were a major issue in Week 3, a killer fumble in Week 4. Zeke has just not quite been right the past 2 games, but I think he'll get back on track. I'm not sure he goes for 100 yards against a pretty good Giants defense overall. But get your votes in. What do you guys think will end up happening? Type Y for yes or type N for no. I do think, and I will say this a lot this year, the key to success for the Cowboys offense is let Dak deal. This Giants secondary, James Bradbury's played pretty well. You guys don't know who Ryan Lewis is, and that's okay. Isaac Iadum was waived by Denver and is now helping out the Giants as like their #2 corner because Jabril Peppers is banged up, and that moved Logan Ryan into the strong safety role. And Darnay Holmes has played some, but he hasn't been very good. The Giants have like one good secondary player right now. Logan Ryan is fine, I guess. Peppers and Love are okay. Love's also come back from injury, but he'll play this week. You can beat this Giants secondary. And even if, let's say, hypothetically, James Bradbury totally locks down Amari Cooper. Well, guess what? You think Ryan Lewis and Darnay Holmes are going to shut down CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup, or that Logan Ryan's going to have suddenly be a great lockdown corner, which he's never been in his NFL career? No. I think that bodes very well for the Cowboys' passing attack against a Giants team that, well, they're 0-4 for a reason. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you all so much. If you haven't already, don't forget to predict the score of Cowboys versus Giants. My predictions this year have not gone according to plan because, well, the Browns game was a disaster, and I blame the refs for the loss against the Rams. But in a must-win game, I got the Cowboys picking up a victory, 30-23 over the New York Giants. The over-under doesn't hit. It's a point shy of where things are at right now, and the Cowboys don't cover. It gets a little close because that is the Cardiac Cowboys, but I think the Cowboys get back with a much-needed win over the Giants in Week 5. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.